Hey guys, it's Pico here, and this is part 5, the last part of this Assassin's Creed badly designed full sync objectives video series. So this is the Freedom Cry DLC for AC4, and I could only find one mission that was only badly designed in full sync, which is a scientific inquiry, which is memory 6. And basically what you have to do for this mission is just complete 5 objectives, or 5 investigations, and also make sure you don't kill anyone while doing any of them. Technically, to complete the mission, you only have to do 3 of them, but for the full sync, you have to do all 5. But right now, we just have to eavesdrop on the Harbor Master, because once we do that, that's when the investigations will officially start. So I just decided to speed up all of this, because this mission is basically just listening to dialogue, just doing that over and over again, so I just decided to speed up all the parts. Or I'm just, like, standing around listening to dialogue, because that's basically all this mission is. But what's dumb is that you can't kill anyone while you're investigating, so if you kill anyone, you have to do all 5 of the investigations again. And some of them are kind of hard to do without killing anyone. Like, the one I'm going to right now doesn't really require you to kill anyone, but, like, one of the last ones that I do, like, the next one that I do, and then one of the last ones that I do are kind of hard to do without killing anyone. But somehow I just get lucky with them. So I know we're just swimming to this ship, because there's a courier on it that has a letter that we have to read. So then he starts running away, and then somehow he like starts running towards the dock, and then somehow just turns towards me for some reason, so I just get him easily. And then we just have to wait for Ottawale to finish reading the letter, because you can't run or climb or anything while he's like doing this dialogue. And the courier's like stuck on the stairs for some reason. But once he's done with the dialogue, we just go to the second investigation, which is, I think, is the one where there's like the guy that is in like a restricted area, and he just walks between 2 restricted areas, and you have to like loot him or something. They all kind of blend together in my mind, because you have to do all 5 of them, and it doesn't matter which order you do them in, and I do them in a different order every single time I do this mission. So they just like all blend together in my brain, so I don't remember which one is which. And they're also all kind of similar anyway, so that's another reason why they blend together. You're basically just going to a location and then looting something from the guy, and then waiting for Ottawale to finish his dialogue, and then going to the next one. There's one later that's an eavesdrop, which I actually fail, and I fail the eavesdrops and I have to restart checkpoint, because I do it after I completed the first 3 investigations. I still only have 2 left, because once you complete 3 objectives, that's when you can actually just go ahead and finish the mission, so that's when the checkpoint is. So if you fail a checkpoint after that point, then you only have to do 2 left. But if you fail a checkpoint before you do that, then you have to restart all 5. And I don't know what happens here, but like I try to like aim my sleep darts to like shoot the guys that are following him, so that I can just loot him without getting seen by anyone. And then somehow it like just gives me the letter anyway, even though I don't loot him. Like you'll see it happen here, and I don't know what happened, but like I aim the sleep dart, and then it just gives me the letter for some reason. I don't know what happened, and I was to walk into the restricted area that surrounds the jailer, which is a unique type of enemy for this Freedom Cry DLC, where they basically chase down slaves, and if they have like a permanent restricted area circle around them, and if you enter that area, then they just start detecting you immediately. And because there's no notoriety system in AC4 except for when you're on your ship, and there's no notoriety on land. But you're rarely on your ship in the Freedom Cry DLC, so it doesn't really matter. So then we just have to find this guy leaning against the wall. And every time I do this, I always forget where he is. For some reason, I always forget, like, I guess I just got lucky coming from the right direction, just to, like, find him easily. So if I came from a different direction, I would think he was in the restricted area, but it's, like, to the left over there, where the guards are, but, like, I don't know. I just always forget where this guy is for some reason, I don't know why. And we just finished the dialogue with him. And then that's the 3rd investigation done, so technically I could go finish the mission right now. But since this is showing off the full sync, then I'm not gonna do that. Now we do this eavesdrop mission, or investigation, and then this is the one where I actually fail and have to restart checkpoint. This eavesdrop part of the mission is like one that I always fail for some reason, at least once, because for some reason it's just dumb and I always get detected randomly, because they always get stuck on something, or like they get stuck and then they turn around to like try to fix their like pathing, but then when they turn around they end up seeing me. And the circle is so small that you have to be in, so you have to be so close to them. So then like they go around this corner and then the second guy like gets stuck on like this bench or whatever, and then turns around to fix his pathing and sees me. And then it fails the eavesdrop, so I have to restart checkpoint. And it's just dumb. I swear that happens like almost every single time I do this mission, and that's why I saved the eavesdrop for like one of the last ones. Because if I don't, then I'll have to restart checkpoint, and I'll have to do all the other investigations I already did before. So I'll just do this eavesdrop again. And thankfully I actually get it on my second try. Like, I've had a time when I was doing this mission, I think it was honestly probably my first time doing this DLC, where I was trying to do this investigation, and it literally took me like multiple tries to do, and like probably took me over an hour to do, just because I kept getting detected by stupid things like him getting turned around and stuck on nothing, and tried to fix his pathing by turning around and then seeing me, and it just kept happening over and over again. But then I get lucky on this run and it doesn't happen. Like, he still gets kind of stuck on that one bench. Like, I don't know what's with like the pathing on him, but he gets stuck on that like bench thing every single time. But then I got lucky and he didn't fully turn around. He only turned around like 90 degrees or less than that, so he didn't turn around completely and see me. So then we're on the last investigation, and I've still haven't killed anyone so far, so we're good on that front. And then once we finish this last investigation, and then that will be it for this mission. And something stupid kind of happens when I do this. Like, when you do this investigation for this fish guy, this fish salesman, you actually have to go back and talk to him and tell him that it's done. And when I was recording this, I forgot to do that, so technically I failed the full sync for this when I recorded this video. But I just didn't care when I was recording this, and I didn't want to go back and re-record the whole thing, because I already did all the other ones and I didn't want to redo the entire mission again. So I just left it in and just didn't care. So just pretend that I did the full sync for this mission. Because technically I did. I just was an idiot and forgot to go back to him after I finished this. But basically we just have to like steal the key from this slave holder, or like this other fish salesman. And he actually walks into that restricted area where the slave pen is. But I know that his pathing is going to make him come back over here, so that's why I'm just standing still and waiting for him to finish where he goes. I honestly probably could have sped this part up, because it's just standing still. But I know that it doesn't take that long, especially compared to like the rest of this mission where you're just listening to people talk over and over again. So then he comes back over here, and he's actually supposed to like walk back up around like where the mansion is, where we were earlier when I did the second investigation, and he's supposed to follow the path to the right, like near the flat platform that I just made go off screen. But like for some reason when I was doing this, he got stuck on these other civilians and somehow didn't do that. So then like he's supposed to come up near where I am, but then he gets like stuck on this one guy, and then just starts turning around for some reason. So I'm like, okay, why are you doing this? And then I just have to steal it from him here instead of waiting for him to go to a better position. It's some blending while I do it. It doesn't have me get detected. I don't get detected until after I open the slave pen, because that automatically gets you detected. And I can't kill the guards because then I would fail the full sync. So I just sneak behind this wooden thing. And they like see me go into the bush, but since I wasn't officially in the restricted area, they didn't start detecting me. So then I just open the cage, and then they get detected by all of them because they hear it happen. And then this is the part where I just forget to return to the fisherman. I just run to Bastion for some reason, because I forget that I have to return to the guy. Because this is the only investigation where you have to like return to someone. All the other ones you just like steal something or eavesdrop on someone and that's it. You don't have to return to anyone. And then once you open the door, they lock you in, so you're just stuck inside the building and you can't leave. And I didn't realize that until after I entered the building, so I tried to like turn around and leave and it didn't let me. So then I decided to finish the mission and it ended up technically making me fail the full sync, even though if I did remember to return to the fisherman, I would have done it. But I was a stupid idiot when I recorded this and forgot to do it. So technically I did it, but technically I didn't. So just pretend that I did do it. And we also can't skip this cutscene for some reason. So I just decided to speed this part up too. But that's it for AC4, and then in the rest of this video we'll finish up the rest of the games for Rogue, Unity, and Syndicate, and that'll be it for this series. Because there's no full sync objectives in Origins or Odyssey. And with Valhalla, which is the next game after Odyssey, I doubt they're gonna have full sync objectives either. Because it's based off the same engine as Origins and Odyssey. Well, we're getting into Rogue now, and this is sequence 5 Memory 2 Bravado, where you have to not let the Morgan get hit by mortar fire, and also don't kill anyone except Adewale. So this is kind of weird, we were just playing as Adewale, and now we have to do a mission where we kill him, so that's interesting. But we just have to get to a certain area of the ship, and then we go to a location where you just have to find where Adewale is, and once you locate him, you have to chase him on the ship. And then you have to fight him on the ship, and then you go to another location where you actually kill him. And I also really love like the Templar sails in this game. They just look so cool, like the black and red and the giant cross. I actually forget how you get them, but I think you just, I think they're just like a normal like cosmetic ship upgrade you can get by upgrading your ship. But they're just like the coolest sails in the game. Also, the ship in this game is smaller than the Jackal on AC4, so your ship is actually, it's weaker, but it's more, it's faster than in AC4. So if you play AC4, you're more stronger, but you're also slower. But if you play this game, you're weaker, but you're faster. So it's kind of like a balance of what you kind of want to focus on. But also AC4 is just like a better game in general, so I tend to go back to that game more. I also prefer things just being stronger instead of faster. Just like, that's just kind of my play style that I do all the time in games. And it doesn't really matter if you get detected in this area, because the full sync objective where you have to not kill anyone doesn't show up in this section, so it doesn't matter if you kill people in this location, but it matters once you get to the second area. So you can just kill everyone you want in this location, but once you get to the location where you actually kill Adewale, and you have to, it's actually after you destroy his ship in the ship battle, and that's when the full sync objective shows up and you can't kill anyone except Adewale. So now we just have to go through this small town area. And I just rushed through this section because, like I said, you can't, it doesn't matter if you kill anyone or not. So like, I kill someone there and it doesn't fail full sync. I just rushed through this part. Because I already know where Adewale is anyway. Because I've played this so many times and it doesn't matter for the full sync right now. So I just rushed through it. As you can see him standing on the cliff over there. So I killed these guys and then he just runs away. No matter how many times I replay this mission and I try to avoid that guy from tackling me and like not have him do it, I always get tackled and thrown down by him, and I don't know how to avoid it, even though I'm doing the same like exact thing that you have to do to normally avoid tackles, which is just manually jump when they start doing a tackle animation. But for some reason, every single time I do it, every time I do the manual jump, I still get knocked down by the tackle for some reason, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's just a glitch or a bug or whatever, or if it's because you're not on straight, flat terrain, because the terrain's kind of like sloped upwards. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. It's just weird. But right now we're just like have to fight out of a light ship, which isn't really that hard, especially since my ship's already fully upgraded. And you technically don't even have to fully destroy a ship, because once you get his ship down to like really low health, then it activates the next part of the mission. And then this is the part where you have to not kill anyone. It doesn't matter if you get detected, but if you don't, as long as you don't kill them, then you won't fail full sync. Like I got detected there and I didn't fail full sync. It only matters if you kill. Also for the mortar part, you just have to just keep moving forward. Because I didn't mention that when it was actually happening, but you just have to keep moving forward and just make sure you don't get hit by anything when the mortar symbols on the water are yellow. Just don't be in them when they're red, and when they're yellow is fine, but just make sure you get out of them before they turn red. And you can actually like sneak up behind Adewale if you go behind his house, because if you go in front of the house, then he'll actually see you from like where he is. So you can sneak behind and go behind that house, and then sneak behind Adewale and kill him. And I almost instantly killed that stalker, because every time I have a stalker fight me in this game, I just kill them. And I thought that would pressing circle to throw them would kill them, and then it didn't, so I got lucky like right at the end. And then we kill Adewale, and then we just speed up this, because since it's based off the same engine as AC4, you can't skip the confession cutscenes in this game either, which is really dumb. I also love this costume where like you have the Templar mask and like the Templar things. Also the mask is like permanent as long as you're wearing this outfit. And it also actually affects gameplay, because the enemies in this game can throw down like smoke bombs to like stun you, and you have to put on your face mask to stop getting to like negate the smoke bomb effect. And as if you're wearing this assassin killer outfit, you don't have to manually put on the face mask, and it's always permanently on you. Except for in this mission, which is Sequence 6 Memory 2. Yeah, Sequence 6 Memory 2 Curse of Steel, where in the first part you have to not get detected by poison clouds, or not get damaged by poison clouds. I don't know why I said do not get detected. But do not get damaged by poison clouds, and then the second part is stay out of combat. And the second part is kind of dumb, because after you leave the area where the poison clouds are, then you get a poison dart thrown at you. And if you basically have to keep running and constantly moving, because I guess if you don't move, then it like slows down your heart enough to where you die. At least that's what like Shay says. Like he says that if he has to keep moving or his heart will stop beating. But I've never, like, every time I've done this, I've just kept running, just because I wanted to finish the mission. So I've never like stayed still long enough to actually die from it. So I don't know like how long it takes for you to die from the poison. But basically you just have to like keep running. But what's dumb is that you have to stay out of combat while you're constantly running to negate the effects of the poison. So you have to like keep track of two different things at once, which can be kind of dumb and annoying. But the first part with the poison clouds isn't really that bad. It's basically just a short parkour section. And even though like this assassin killer outfit has like the permanent mask on it, they actually take the mask away from you for this mission, just because it's like plot relevant. And in the cutscene that I just skipped, Hope actually like takes off Shay's mask when he's like stunned on the floor from getting shot through the roof. But for some reason this assassin killer outfit, like, it still has the mask on his face because of the permanent mask feature, even though it doesn't affect the gameplay while you're doing this mission, which is weird. I guess because they didn't want to make a whole separate model for this outfit where there's no mask on it, because they were lazy. Because everyone knows Ubisoft is lazy and dumb, or whatever. So then that's the part where you don't get damaged by poison clouds, and then this is the part where you get the poison dart thrown at you, and then you have to constantly run to keep it from killing you. So then what I do over here is I just run through the trees and then go up on this roof over here, and then I sleep dart this guy because every time I do this mission I tend to get seen by this guy whenever I try to just run past him normally. So I just sleep dart him to be safe, and then I run through this section. Because once you get into this green circle area on the map, then that's when the full sync objective is completed, and when the next checkpoint happens.
Never give up.
So then you just run through here, and then that's when the full sync is done. And they berserk all the enemies, but you can just run past them. And that stalker is supposed to be on the bench there, but for some reason they were activated before I even got close to them, which I don't know how. So I'm trying to not get right behind Hope, because there's some bumps that she throws to stun you because you still don't have your mask, because you don't get the mask back until after you kill her. And then I try to jump over the fence on the roof, and then I end up accidentally tackling the guy on the ground. So then I fall to the ground, I have to climb all the way back up again. And I must get desynchronized because I'm too far away. And then that cloud is dissipated enough to where I can just run through it normally. So it doesn't really matter. And then I just run around this other cloud that she throws. And then she runs down the ground level, and I just stay up and air assassinate her. And something dumb is that when I first played this game and I was doing this mission, after the confession cutscene right here, I got hit by a bomb or something, and I got knocked back after the cutscene happened. So I don't know. I wish I had footage of it, but it happened on PS3 where you can't save footage, because I was playing the original version because the remastered version wasn't out at the time. So I don't have footage of it, and I've never been able to recreate it, so it's kind of dumb. This cutscene finished, and then he's just sitting there on the ground, and then I got knocked down by a bomb or something. And then normally he just stands up, but then I got knocked down by a bomb, and I was laying on the ground, knocked back by the bomb while this mission complete thing showed up. And then we have sequence 6 memory 4 called fire, where you have to collide. You have to avoid all the icebergs and make sure you don't collide with any of them, and also not take any damage after you board the ship. Basically, in this mission, you have to board an enemy ship and then kill the assassin that's on it. And I don't want to say his name because I know I'll butcher it, because it's some crazy French name with a ton of words, and I know I'll butcher it because I'm bad at French and I don't know any French. But basically, in this mission, you just have to kill 6 ships, and then once you kill those ships, you have to find where the main enemy ship is, and then you have to board it and make sure you don't kill collide with any icebergs while you're fighting it, and you board it, and then you just kill the main assassin guy on it. But what's dumb is that there's a giant snowstorm happening, so you can't see anything that's going on. And if you don't destroy the icebergs, then you can collide with them because you can't see where you're going. And just destroy these ships. I don't know if I like the puckle gun or the soul gun better, but I kind of like the puckle gun just because it's a lot faster and even though it's kind of harder to aim. But I like how it's faster and there's more targets that show up. And just destroy these 2 ships. And then the last one's way over there. destroy this ship, then you find and once you destroy that last ship, then the main ship will show up. And then you have to make sure you don't collide with any icebergs, which, like I said, is dumb because of the snowstorm. And the icebergs are also like, really big, at least most of them. And if they're big like this, then they kind of take 2 shots to destroy. So you kind of have to shoot them twice. So if you don't know to shoot them twice, then you probably only able to shoot them once, and then just assume that you destroyed it, and then probably collide with it later. It's gonna be kind of dumb. So even though I know what ship is, the game doesn't think I know. But I'm just destroying icebergs right now because I don't want to have them be in the area before when the fight actually starts. Because I don't want to collide with any of them, so I don't expose them. So now I just end up using fire shot and heavy shot and whatever, and with all my powerful weapons just to destroy the ship really quickly. And here I actually used the fire streak thing, which in the AC4 videos, in my last video, I kind of talked about how I don't use the fire there as much in AC4, but I prefer the fire in this game. Like, there's more situations where you can use it. And I just keep destroying icebergs and keep shooting them, so I kind of like focus on 2 things at once. I've had times where I was trying to do this mission and I just kept hitting icebergs because I didn't destroy them beforehand, before this fight started. And then I destroy the ship and then board it. And then here you have to not take any damage. So basically to avoid that, I just try to get on the ship. I try to get on the ship and then for some reason it doesn't, the swing doesn't go fully. So then I end up in the water, but since the water is like frozen, if you spend too long in frozen water, it actually damages you. So then I get damaged by the frozen water, so I have to restart checkpoint. And you can tell if you failed full strength objective in either Rogue or AC4, because if you pause and the full strength objective isn't on the menu, in like the middle part of the menu, then you can tell you failed it, because as long as it's still there, then you haven't failed it. If it disappears once, then you have failed it. So if you go to restart checkpoint, you can check to see if the full sync objective is still there, and if it's not, then you know you failed. And since when I was restarting the checkpoint after I fell in the water and the full sync objective wasn't there in the middle of the menu, then it wasn't, and then I know I failed it because I got damaged by the ice water. So then I don't want to risk getting hit. I don't want to risk getting damaged by the ice water again, or getting hit by an enemy on the ship, so then I just climb up to the top of the ship and shoot him. And then again, you can't skip this cutscene either. This might be like one of the only confession cutscenes in the game where just like actually like geometry that the characters are interacting with. Like, there's probably one other one in Rogue where there's geometry. I think there's one where like you pin someone against the wall. But those are like the only 2 confession cutscenes in Assassin's Creed where like people actually interact with geometry. Unless you count Unities, where like for some reason in Unity you see the memories of your target instead of having confession like normal, which I don't even understand. But also, speaking of Unity, this is the last Rogue mission, so then we'll actually get to Unity. So then, once you get through this menu, we'll get to Unity, and then Unity is sequential of memory 1 is Supreme Being, and you have to sabotage 1 alarm bell, and then there's a part where you have to like, not let at least get detected. Also, yes, this is what I wear in Unity because this is my setup. The belt gives me like 30 lockpicks. And I like having as many lockpicks as I can, because the lockpicking minigame in this game is so dumb and inconsistent and random and it's broken. But we also don't have to worry about lockpicking any doors or anything in this mission. That's like the main thing I have from the belt. I think the hood gives me like increased eagle vision range and like lowers the cooldown on it. Because I try to use Eagle Vision as much as possible in this game. Because in this game, Eagle Vision is like a pulse and doesn't last forever, and I hate that it's a pulse and doesn't last forever, so I try to have it last as long as possible, and try to have as much range as possible just so I can see everything. And I forget what my other clothes do, because I didn't check them. I didn't check what my stats were before I recorded this, or before I recorded the gameplay, or before I recorded this commentary. Yeah, that's basically my setup. But for this mission, it's kind of dumb because there's just so many enemies and restricted areas everywhere. And in the part where you have to not let at least get detected, there's like enemies that keep constantly coming, and if you get seen by the enemies, they just start like fighting you, and the enemies are like the most powerful type of enemy in the game, so they take forever to kill. And by the time you kill one, there's already another enemy, and there's already another enemy next to Elise that's detected her. So you just have to like kill all of them extremely quickly. So I needed to get into Robus's tent. There's so many enemies guarding it that I just use like berserk darts. And the berserk darts are kind of like broken in this game because they're just so good. Like if you use a berserk dart on an enemy, it completely stops them from detecting you, as long as like before the purple health bar shows up and they start attacking everyone else. So it completely stops enemies from detecting you, and it also kind of seems to spread to other enemies. Like I've used berserk on so many enemies in this game, but I've had times where like I berserked one enemy and they started fighting another enemy. Then that other enemy got the purple berserk health bars from me. Like you just saw it there. Like 2 other enemies got berserked, even though I didn't even shoot them with the berserk dart. So that berserk is kind of like broken and it like spreads to other enemies in this game, which is honestly pretty cool. It doesn't even do that in AC4 or Rogue or Origins or any other game that has berserk stuff in it. I don't even use the berserk in Origins because in Origins you don't have like a dart or like a ranged way of doing it, and you have to buy it from the skill tree. And then once you buy it from the skill tree, you have to get behind an enemy. Like you have to get behind an enemy and like get into a position to assassinate them, and then you have to press like in on a stick for some reason to use berserk. But at that point, why would you not just assassinate them? So I never use berserk in Origins for that reason, just because it's so dumb. But berserk in Unity is so much better. And then I kind of like end up getting seen by like some people, but then I use the broken cover kill system. Like you can just hide behind the covers, like a piece of cover, and assassinate people. And if other people see you do it, you can just repeatedly keep doing cover kills, which they actually fixed in Syndicate. So, but it still works like that in this game after even after tons of patches. So then all the enemies are over there now for some reason. They're next to the tent on this side. So then I collect these 3 pieces of paper, which even though this is like a cutscene, it doesn't let me skip it, but it's also so short that I guess it doesn't matter that you can't skip it. You just have to like watch this cutscene with all the enemies fighting in the background. No, I'm still getting creed points from all of my berserk kills. It's interesting. So then we get into the tent, we find the pieces of paper, and then we have to return to Elise. I actually forget to sabotage the alarm bell, or like there was an alarm bell on one of the other sides of the tent that I forget to do, but I actually come back for it. It's not like the Fisherman in the Freedom Pride DLC where I just completely forget to do it, and I can't go back once I remember. I actually do go back and get the alarm bell later, but that's why I normally do it after I get those pieces of paper. This is the part where you have to protect Elise and not let her get detected. So then, like, she's like doing something to the wine or like poisoning it for some reason, and then there's enemies that you have to protect her from. And I guess like I got detected before I could do an assassination on him, so then I had to kill him in combat. So now I just wait for Elise to do whatever she's doing, and then I see more guards over there. And there's also more than just one guard, so then I decided to throw a smoke bomb, so no one sees what I do. The smoke bombs are also like really useful in this game, just because like they're so cheap and so easy to buy that you might as well like repeatedly use them a lot, and they're also like really useful in like so many different situations. And then like this is what I'm talking about, where like you can just get detected by one enemy and then get stuck fighting the enemy and then other enemies, or like constantly shooting you while you're trying to do it. But then I will escape and then have Elise just do whatever she's doing. And for some reason it says knockout approaching guards was the main objective. But you don't even have to knock them out, you can just kill them and it still works. And I think this is where I remember to do the alarm bell. You know, I'm just going for the alarm bell right now because this is where I remember that I forgot to do it. So I just go do it now, even though I normally do it earlier. So then thankfully there's barely anyone else around in this area because I already had them all kill each other when I was getting the pieces of paper earlier. So I just kill that guy because I don't care. And then for the rest of this mission, you just have to run around the area and plant things on people. And there's like 3 people that you have to go to, and you have to plant the pieces of paper on them. There's letters, I don't know. Like, there are letters, I don't know why I keep always saying pieces of paper like they're anything else. But they're letters, you have to plant the letters on the people. And then once you plant these 3 letters, you're basically done with this mission. And I kinda get stuck on the cart because the parkour in this game is broken. Like, even more broken and clunky than AC3. And if you watched my earlier videos of the AC3 missions, and you saw how bad and clunky the parkour in AC3 was. But it's way worse in this game. It just looks bad and it feels bad to play. But this is also the only mission in Unity where I can find is actually like badly designed and full sync objectives, because all the other missions were like pretty easy to do. And like it wasn't the full sync objectives that were screwing me over, it was more just the game and the normal game mechanics that were making the missions hard. This one was the one that I've actually had trouble with, not counting ignoring the main game mechanics. This one actually gave me some trouble. I want to speed up this part because for some reason I can't skip that cutscene either. Then we're finally on the Syndicate, and this is sequence 4 memory for a spoonful of syrup. And you have to steal a plan undetected, and then in the next area, after you steal a plan, you have to remain undetected. So basically just remain undetected twice, which is kind of redundant. But basically for this first part, we just have to chase this merchant, and then he'll tell us sort of like a plan for the syrup or whatever. I don't know what the plan's for, because I don't remember the plot of this game because it's bad. But you have to steal a plan from some guy and you have to do it remaining undetected. But what's dumb is that you have to it's so specifically worded, you have to physically actually steal the plan. If you have the ability where you loot an enemy, if you loot an enemy right as you kill them, like you have the loot steal ability thing, whatever it is, it doesn't give it to you. Or it gives you the plan, but it doesn't give you the full sync because technically, for some reason, it thinks you got detected when you kill them. So you have to leave the guy alive and actually steal it manually, which is dumb because it's so specific. It's like the opposite of the flow sync objectives in AC3, where they were so vague and were badly worded and didn't make sense. But this one is so weirdly specific, and you have to do it in such a specific way You have to follow it specifically in like one way that they do it. So then as soon as you scan the guy in Eagle Vision, he gets onto a carriage and goes to a different area. So then I just get onto a cart because I know he's gonna leave immediately before I can get the plan. So then I just follow him in his cart.
Let's go
To the next area. Trying to just follow the guy who, I think it's like a factory that he goes to, and you have to sneak behind him and steal the plan. And to make sure you don't kill him, because for some reason if you kill him it thinks you get detected even if you do it stealthily. And then I just get off the horse. I don't know why, like every time I get off a carriage in this game they like do a stumbling animation even if I completely stop the carriage and I'm not moving, they still do the animation. I don't know what's up with that. But I know that he's gonna like come over here, so I just wait here and just watch him in Eagle Vision. And this game actually gives you, like the Eagle Vision actually lasts forever in this game, because I guess they realized that people were mad that Eagle Vision wasn't a thing that lasted forever in Unity, so then I fixed that in Syndicate. Syndicate fixed like a lot of things in Unity, but I still hate Syndicate because it's bad. So now I have to steal my holding circle from behind him, because if I killed him it wouldn't have given me the full sync, which is dumb. But then we have to go to this other factory where the distribution boss is. I don't know why words are so hard for me. And then we have to go to him, and then we have to kidnap him and escort him out of the area. And for some reason I actually failed this like 3 times, which is dumb. Like this is supposed to be the easier part, but I failed this like 3 times because I'm an idiot. And the game also kind of screws me because it gives me a tutorial for how to kidnap people, even though this isn't the first mission in the game where you have to kidnap someone, so I don't know why it gives me the tutorial. And I've also finished this game before, so I don't know why it feels like it has to give me a tutorial, because I know what I'm doing. It's like it gives me a tutorial, and then screws with like the tapping of the AI, because I guess they still like move while the tutorial's on your screen. So the tutorial like kind of screwed me. And I actually, before I recorded this mission gameplay, I actually played this mission before I recorded it, just to like make sure it was one that I wanted to include. But when I was playing it before recording it, it didn't give me the tutorial, but then when I actually did record it, it did give me a tutorial, so I don't know what made the tutorial pop up. But I just kill these guys with knives, and like I try to like drop down to like get the guy to kidnap. And for some reason he saw the dead body, so that like leads him over here, but I couldn't figure out, I didn't know where else to go down. And it's probably like he sees me for some reason. I guess because like me aiming a knife took me out of my blend mode. And even though I'm behind a wall and I'm blending people, somehow he still like detects me and starts running away. But then if he runs away, then it detects you and you fail the full sync. So then that's why I fail it for the first time. And the second time I think I'm like throwing knives at people, like I'm still trying to do the same strategy. And I'm throwing knives at people, and I get detected while I'm throwing the knives because I do it too early. Like I try to throw a knife at like this guy up here, and then somehow I get detected from it. Because for some reason that guy sees him die for some reason, even though he didn't before and he won't in this next attempt. So I don't know what made him see the other guy die. But then I actually do it in this attempt. Like this attempt actually works for me. So then I kill that guy, and then I wait for the main guy to go down the stairs fully before I start throwing knives everywhere else. So I just wait for them to do the normal tapping. I try to get a headshot, but then the cursor like sticks through. And then that guy sees me, so like, why? Why is it random whether they see you or not? It's like the Sequence 7 mission AC3 all over again. The AI is bad. You saw it in my first attempt on this. Like I threw a knife at the guy on the bottom, and the brute on the above part section didn't see it happen. And then in the second attempt, I threw a knife at the top guy, and the bottom guy saw him die. And then in that last attempt, I threw a knife at the bottom guy, and the top guy saw him die. So I don't know what's wrong with this. So then I just decided to not throw knives at everyone anymore. I just completely ignored them. So then I just go and kidnap him. And for some reason he like sees me behind. I'm trying to sneak behind and I get to him fast enough to where he doesn't run away. And then we just have to escort him out of the area while kidnapping him. And basically the way kidnapping works is that you have a circle around you, and if enemies get into that circle area, then they detect you and it stops the kidnap. And the speed that you're moving depends on, changes how big the size is. So if you're like sprinting, it's like the biggest size possible. If you're walking really slowly, it's really small. So you basically have to like change your speed to change the size of the radius. But that's it for that mission. And then we get the last mission of this video series, and the second mission for Syndicate, which is a room with a view, which is sequence 5, Mary 5. Where you have to perform a leap of faith into a haystack while on a zipline. Which like is the one mission where it even taught me that you can do that, and the one mission in the game where actually requires you to do that. And the other one is to counter all of Lucy's strikes whenever you're fighting her in the top of the tower of the cathedral or the church or whatever the building is. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's St. Paul's Cathedral. I don't know. I don't know London, like, geography. I don't know London buildings. You know, we just have to like kill all these police. And when I first played this mission, like the first time I played this game, I thought I had to do this without getting seen by any policemen. But now I just don't care because I know you don't have to do it, so I just kill all of them. Then you have to go under the monument and then interact with something under there, and then you have to go to the top of the monument, and then you have to interact with something up there, and then that's when you do the first objective. We have to leap a face into a haystack from a zip line. So then that thing opens up, and then just use the red launcher to just speed right up there. Because they gave you a cheating mechanism to bypass all the parkour in this game. So just climb the rest of the way and then interact with this. And for some reason you can skip this cutscene even though it's really short. You can't skip other short cutscenes in other games, but you can skip that one in this game even though it's so incredibly short. So I do leap of faith into the haystack, and then that was the first closing objective. And then we just have to go to St. Paul's Cathedral. And then that's when we have to solve a puzzle, and then we do the second full sync objective. Whenever I'm playing this game, I just like boost as much as possible with the horses. Just because it's just fun to like go as fast as possible and destroy everything. Like, even though I'm on the road, I normally just drive on the sidewalk and like run over civilians and lampposts and destroy everything and kill people. But I just wanted to get this done, so I just go on the road like a normal person. So in here, I climb up. I almost get stuck between the fire truck, I guess, what it is, and the car. But then I get off and I start doing the puzzle. And the gear puzzle is weird because you have to like spin gears with certain symbols on them and like match those symbols. And it actually took me like a while to figure out this puzzle when I first played the game because I didn't understand the match the symbols. But that was pretty easy to do. And for some reason, even if you know where the thing is, it's still forcing you to use Eagle Vision to scan it and like look at it in Eagle Vision. For some reason, it does let you interact with it until you do that. So then you just have to spin the gears. So then you have to like match it with like these like the line and the circle, and then the match it with the 3 dots. And I think this next one is like 3 lines, and then the top one is like 69, I guess what it is. It just looks like a 69 or 96. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like one of those numbers, and then a triangle, and it spins all the gears, and then that opens up, and then we go in there to where the key to the Shroud Vault is. It's been so long since I played this game, and I don't care about the plot in this game because it doesn't matter and it's bad. I honestly don't even like remember why they go for the Shroud in this game. Like, I just don't care, and I don't remember, and I don't really want to remember because it's just bad. I just don't like anything about this game or Unity. And then we go into like the vault room, I guess, what it is. And then we have to counter all of Lucy's strikes. And since I'm playing this on my 100% file, I have like all the best weapons. I just defeat her really quickly by just mashing square and attacking her immediately. But if you don't kill her quickly, there's actually like a quick time event thing that happens where she just does like tons of attacks really quickly, which I actually do show off after I do this. Like, you just saw me just destroy her, just mashing the button. So then that's it for this mission. But then here I have footage of me actually shutting off the other alternate thing that she does, where she just spams attacks. I actually failed because I wasn't expecting it, and I forgot that she does this. But that's it for this mission, and that's it for this video series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video series, and stay tuned for any future videos I make.